five being down three? Really? How?
Okay. I'm recording. Uh,
Okay, nice.
all right. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. My mic volume might be a bit too high, so let me lower that, and we should be good
Uh,
to go.
nice. Wait, before you start, do you prefer me going in focus mode or
Wait.
just like
I guess try any. You can try focus mode, I guess, or theater mode.
is it better?
I guess theater mode could be better.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about the ads.
No problem.
Do
Uh,
you Guru, do you understand as to why black is supposedly better here? Because I don't. I just really don't.
you just give me a moment. I just wanna
Yeah.
do something quickly with. Okay, wait. See, I'm trying to fix the pixels on the recording, but hold on.
That's fine. Take your time.
Uh,
So, in general, when you're banking on a development, whoa, exactly. So I was about to say, when you're banking on a development advantage, you normally don't want to trade because like that gives the side with the least development time to. And you normally want to overwhelm with your superior development for like a big attack or something of the sort. But yeah, I don't. The engine seems to see only white winning by 1.4, but I'm very surprised. I would really love playing. I would really want to be playing white here. His pawns are in good places. His knight struggles a bit to develop, but not much else really. You have a centered queen. I do like the aggressive approach from Scipio though, even if it doesn't end up working out. I like the energy he's bringing in this match, but
okay,
he has
let's
to be
see.
very careful.
Uh, where is this
Whoa,
one I need? Okay.
whoa! He just sacked his knight.
Wait,
What
what?
is going on?
Okay, let's see here.
What is going on?
What was the opening sequence?
Look, it
And the
was
weak
the
e4,
Italian,
e5,
but
e6,
the knight attack.
two knight attack. What was the response? The pawn. Uh huh. I,
Mhm.
I would kind of do the same, but now under
I
pressure here, how do you respond there?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this Queen of Three variation. I've never seen this before. But the funny thing is, look, like Black here is down three, but the engine just sees it as basically equal. And here's what I highlighted. Like yeah, his development is way better, I guess. But like his
Yeah,
pawns are all over the place. I just don't understand. And like even here, look, why? I'm guessing maybe like no, I don't think there's a pawn push. It's defended twice. Like what is there? You push this and then you push this and you overwhelm the king, maybe? Maybe that's the idea there. But after the trade of the knights, and the engine seems to really disagree with this, the way Scipio
yeah.
played
The
this, and now
the engine did not like the loss of the knight. I think the knight was anchoring some really good forward push there that we're just not gonna see anymore due to that early trade. So maybe maybe the queen. Wait, are we
and then here,
how far behind are we? Wait, just go back.
yeah, this is where they at right now. Do you want me to go back?
Yeah, go back 2 moves.
Like here,
Back again.
here,
Back again.
yeah,
Back again. Back
mm-hmm,
again.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think here, um, you can't threaten the bishop here. If you threaten the bishop can shuffle back to f5 and put pressure on the knight and the queen combined. And since like black just has better development, like you could even go for the move right now if you're black. You don't need to be trading off the knight. That's one thing that's clear here. As for what white can do at the moment, you want to develop your bishop and your knight, but you can't. Like it's going to be so difficult to just get out, like with the bishop on c1 and the knight on b1. You would
Yeah,
castle, but it looks very weak as well. So like you're not gonna get a lot here unless like black stops you do that with that knight trade, for example, because now black has to like retreat with their bishop after, and so they're just losing tempo there. And so in that way, it's very clear why there's an advantage for black here. You can still do it with black. You can bring out your bishop, your other bishop, your dark squared bishop. You can castle to bring in the rook into the game. Possibly put like ways of threats onto the queen. So honestly, there's a lot that black can do that white can't in this position, which I think why that early advantage was there. It's enough to be a pawn. In fact, more than a single pawn, 1.4. But then the moment that knight goes, then you have a whole different situation. Now you're not putting that pressure on the queen, which the bishop and knight were able to do combined. The knight's no longer stuck there, since you've traded it off. And I think at that point, we can definitely see like a pawn push like d3 or d4 happening. There's a high chance of it happening to allow the knight and the bishop for white to develop. It's a totally different game now. And in terms of castling, you could castle now queen side if you're white, because now obviously the bishop has been pushed away. So it's a totally different game now, just because of that. As much as we
I
can't
am
see the long term picture, at least that short term picture like is clear to me that
true. I'm very surprised as to why Scipio took, like what he was fearing, what he was seeing, because like you definitely play this opening while having in mind that this you're sacrificing material for piece development and maybe a strong attack. So I'm like wondering what made him scared enough to trade the knight, you know? But
yeah, it might have just
who
been
knows?
the tension. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't like. Maybe he didn't think about that. Like I could, like I would have played Bishop F5 here. Like that's what I think is
Yeah,
the
that's a
best
good move.
move. That has to be the best move because the opponent has to respond to that. Wait, what? Bishop F5 isn't the.
Whoa.
Oh, it's because knight takes E6 as check, and so you win. Not only do you win the,
Oh.
not only do you like take down that knight, you get to win the bishop. So. But if it wasn't a
Mm.
check, it would be a different situation. So definitely developing the bishop to maybe like what do you call this E F. But even that looks a bit weak if that check is coming. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it is not an easy position here. That's for sure.
I do wonder what happens if you just maintain the. No,
It's
you
still
don't. Okay.
bad. Yeah, but the check you need to stop the check. So I think probably playing knight D7. Oh, even that doesn't
Engine.
seem strong. What is the best move then? What do you play?
Nice move.
I think the knight needs to stay there.
Yeah. Mm, I actually don't know. Doesn't look easy to play at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I really thought Bishop F5 was the answer as well, but we missed the knight taking being check.
Wait, are they?
Do you want to win
Have they
on
played
the?
further move now? They have, right?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
for
word,
sure.
we're way behind now.
Last thing we saw was
Okay,
this.
take. Yeah. Okay.
We went F4. Okay.
C5
Check.
check. Defense.
Oh.
Ooh, pressure on the queen. Queen retreats. More pressure on the queen. All the way back. Bishop takes. Queen takes back. Castles. Knight d2. Rook g8. Bishop puts pressure on the rook on f1.
Ooh, wow, nice
What
maneuver.
a close. Okay. Oh
Wait,
my
wait,
word.
what? What?
What?
Huh? What? Why? Huh?
Wait.
Wait, I don't see it.
Wait, let's
What's
see
the
here. If let me try to see this.
um
I think huh. You could probably play rook to d5, right? If you're black. Oh man. There's no way.
Yunjin's
Okay.
such a critic, man.
Oh my word.
I don't know myself either. Um,
Oh, is it bishop to now bishop to d2 is a bad mistake. Even I know it. I think wait, could taking the queen on c like queen takes c5? for black be the move? I doubt it is. It can be, yeah.
There's
It
no
can be.
tactic apparently. What is this?
Wait, what about knight to d4? Ah, come on. Wait. But I don't see why knight to d4 is wrong. You're not gonna put a check on the king. Like, what's the best
So
move after that?
what's the idea of knight d4? May I ask?
Oh wait, wait, the pawn. I forgot about the pawn on c3 for white. Yeah, if there's no
Uh,
pawn there, then it's a good move. But ish.
yeah. I really
um,
don't know.
I don't get this.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait.
Just where the
Okay. But anyway, at the moment, it looks like Master J winner at this point in time was at a slight disadvantage.
Oh,
Oh,
Scipio found it.
knight to
93.
e3. What is the
Mm,
advantage being built up here? There's gonna be a threat for a fork with knight to g4.
but can you not just take?
Oh yeah,
Why?
why can't you take?
Oh, whoa. Oh, oh, look at this. The pawn. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call.
And
One second.
the queen can't get out of there. The only way the queen can get out of there is by letting the knight die. And so that's where the three was the whole time. I did not expect that at all. Wow. What a move by Scipio. He's cooking. How can Master J respond to this fine dish? So what happens after the move? We're gonna wait for Koki to return so that our coverage of the Weekend Warriors Event 31 finale continues.
I am back.
And we are back. And so after that
I.
move, so I think it's clear here. So the queen has to vacate that space. The queen has to
Yep.
vacate. You probably play something like what? Queen c1 or queen h3, because I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to play queen d2 there with the rook follow up that could happen by moving the bishop out of the way. And when it's so and of course if you don't move you're in trouble. I mean you have to move. And so you lose your knight and that's where all the three is coming from. So
Oh, there's
what
more. There's more. Oh wow, he sacked the queen.
takes,
I guess.
which is
Wow.
fair. It's
Oh
another
no, he
way
does
to
like it.
escape. Oh, but it seems pinned, but not really. Why? Oh, because queen takes, and then the fork by the knight doesn't happen yet.
Wow.
Wait, it's because of the
Jeez.
material as well. Two looks against the queen. Why
That's
doesn't why does
pinned.
Master J Winner do that? Like, go back 2 moves earlier.
Where? This?
Yeah. Okay. Queen takes, right?
Mhm.
King takes back. Why no fork?
Because
Because it's pinned. Oh, okay.
yeah,
So it's
it's
because
not
of the
pinned.
material, and you know you're gonna win the bishop. Okay, that makes sense. And so,
I No matter the result, I'm very surprised about the way Scipio's playing. Like he's playing so tactical, so aggressive. I really didn't expect this, honestly.
I guess what were you expecting from Scipio?
Like a very solid game. I thought Master J was the more aggressive too, but apparently, like this game tells the opposite story.
So you're expecting I guess a more conservative Scipio, one who's trying to just not avoid making mistakes. Okay, we saw a Scipio who's willing to be adventurous in a final. Uh,
Absolutely, like he's just taking risks. Also, this pawn push. Oh, oh, because like Scipio's just not missing anything. I just feel like at this point. I mean, technically he has missed some advantages, but the way he's just finding the right sequences most of the time is impressive, honestly.
that pawn has a chance at promotion, maybe. So it's gonna keep Master J Winner guessing. Now, as for the pawn push, I think the best move under those circumstances was probably to try to hold the pawn on d2 right now on the d file
Mm-hmm.
earlier rather than trying to trying to like I thought about maybe rook e1. I'm not sure which one I would have put there before the pawn pushes. I thought about that. Like you probably play that threatens the queen. It might like like what happens if you play rook e1 there?
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you play that because the queen has to move, and if the queen moves to like d2, like it's just blocking its own pawn.
It is true, but you're kind of hitting like both pawns here. It's kind of it's hard defending both at the same time, no?
You could probably go back to c1 here, right? Let's see what happens if you play c1 after that. Oh, now you're at a slight disadvantage. Yeah, so it is a position that is very hard to maintain.
For sure. Oh,
But I feel like that pawn's advance is just going to be tough to deal with. And let's see how much MasterJayWinner does to try to contain it. He has 58 seconds left. And now, how will this end? The first game of the best of three series.
I don't know why I have to manually keep the moves updated, but I'll do it. No problem. There you go.
F2.
Oh, perpetual?
Queen. Wait.
A
A
perpetual in
draw.
the winning position.
Wait.
Oh,
I did not see that coming at all. Scipio
wow.
and MasterJayWinner decide to go for a draw. Although Scipio clearly had an advantage there. And he
We're
wasn't
gonna
he
see in
ahead
time.
in time as well?
I think he was. I'm surprised by Scipio, especially after playing Sud Ventures, right? I'm surprised by him going there for the perpetual. Maybe he was afraid he to calculate the oh,
So this guarantees that we will have more than two games in this one.
indeed. I really do not understand why this. Oh, because he just loses a pawn.
The Scotch game gets deployed.
Oi, oi, oi. This is a bad position already. He just takes, and he's up a pawn for nothing.
Master J Weather is under pressure already. We saw e4,
Um,
e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e takes
yeah.
d4, and then c4, d6, knight takes d4. And where's that big error there?
He, this is the big, apparently the big mistake here. You know, this bishop just being defended once and being attacked twice here. You know.
Yeah. So how will Scipio try to seize on this? What ideas does he have here? Obviously, I think you need to develop your knight, your rook. You bring in f3. Okay, you castle probably. I would castle queenside here because I mean the knight on f3 is just c3 is just wonderful to me in this type of position. Up on d7, it's gonna be a bit tricky to have confidence in that plan won't go wary.
I feel like White has just very obvious moves here. C3 controls D4, makes this
Oh
bishop
yeah,
stare into a pawn. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
maybe develop the knight this way. Maybe develop the like. I feel like Black is under the pressure to find good moves, while Black can just. I mean, while White can just make really good development moves and put get the ball back to rolling to Master J. See if he can find something good.
Although to be honest, you can probably push away the bishop if you are black by playing something like knight b4, as much as I doubt the long term effectiveness of such a move.
Yeah, that is true. Oof. This position just looks very tangled for Black.
Bishop g5, Scipio,
He
trying to
takes.
be
Wow.
incisive. The bishop takes using his advantage, trying to deploy it completely, seizing the
Queen.
potential of the position. How must Judah respond to this pressure being put by the queen on this position? The queen anchors e4 as well. And now the pawn on g6 looks particularly weak. It must be defended. But would defending it with the rook or the queen take away from what they could do there? Although, to be honest, knight e5 is beautiful. Attacking and defending at the same time. The best defense is offense, some people say. And to be
Agreed,
honest,
of course.
in this moment, it does really feel true. Now at the moment, MasterJayWinner is under some pressure, but it looks like some of Scipio's advantage has been lost with an excellent defense that MasterJayWinner has managed to put up so far. Scipio has to retreat with his queen first. Because I mean, if you just retreat, I mean, although you probably don't have to take first, but at the moment we're looking at a very tense staring contest. How will Scipio decide to make sure that he has the tempo when it's all said and done? By
Oh,
retreating and not attacking. Although because honestly, because it looks like you really can't unsettle the king there from being able to castle later. Oh, the king is unsettled by deciding to push the bishop. And it looks like for Scipio, he managed to get the best case scenario in that tough situation after losing what was probably a very likable advantage for him. And now the pawn takes on c3 as the bishop decides to get uh, a bit aggressive on that c file, and especially to h8 diagonal.
if I'm Master J here, I wouldn't be afraid to go down on time a lot because you are in an endgame down a pawn. You have to be very precise. You have 7 minutes, basically eight actually. So I would spend as much time without worrying about the clock for now and just focus on a proper endgame technique.
Yeah, if you could probably shave away a good 2 minutes.
I'm expecting some huge movements on the files F on the F file there. I think with although probably you play what you call this uh H6 and then no F6 and then F8 if you're black to put pressure there when the file eventually opens up. Although we do expect white to advance there. Oh, takes no advance.
Yeah, I was
Scipio.
expecting advance as well. Surprised.
The adventurous Scipio continues his ways.
Mm. This looks very tough for Jay, but apparently the engine is not afraid of this position, but I would be for sure. Because the argument here is that White's pawns are a little bit disconnected, right, and a little bit uncoordinated. But you are down a pawn anyway, so maybe it's because like you just can't defend this pawn. Now you're equal. Wow, I missed the entire sequence.
And Master J has a bit of an advantage here. The game is a bit open-ended, so the I mean White's bishop should be really being able to should really be able to make waves here. But unfortunately the king isn't in a prime position to like seize on that at the moment. And a mistake like that in the situation
Yeah,
just
this pawn's
loses the
dropping.
pawns now.
Uh-oh. Scipio is Scipio got too comfortable with such a good position, and now is the pressure's on him now to prove that. Oh my gosh.
Check. And then the pawn is
See.
going as well. Wait, no, it's not going. But I mean, the bishop will be put under some pressure here, and black is gonna gain some tempo and being able to bring the king probably towards the c4 region of the board eventually. No, instead the f. I think it's targeting the f4 region instead. Oh, it's
I really
getting
don't know.
worse for Scipio. Master J
I
winner to grab an advantage at this point. We all saw what happened in event 26. Master J winner being able to outdo Scipio on that day and becoming Titan for the first time in his career. Will Scipio be able to avoid a repeat of that and become a three-time Titan in his PCO journey?
three-time Titan. That
Ooh.
is incredible.
And it is getting a bit more concerning for Scipio's situation here.
Yeah, this knight just completely dominating the bishop, and this bishop is just not look. It's just
The
basically
bishop,
back to its starting square.
the bishop isn't able to show its prowess here. It's really struggling. And
Yeah,
even
although
if Scipio tried to attack the knight now, he's gonna lose a pawn or he's gonna lose the bishop simply because of some fork or pin. Yeah, it's not looking good.
definitely, I don't know what you do here. Honestly, I don't know if you avoid the or if you go for the you lose the pawn and you take this one instead as well, or you
White's king
just
isn't very strong here, unless unless you play something like bishop e. Okay, he doesn't play it, but my point would have been that you probably play something like bishop d3 and then push one of your pawns to h4, do a trade. Hopefully, if MasterJayWinner will fall for it, and then advance from there. But it's unlikely. It's just unlikely. And it's such a difficult position. The five pawns are in full force in terms of the computer predicted advantage here. They probably won't all promote. But wait a minute. An opening.
I
What can
wonder.
Scipio do? And
Oh,
he doesn't. I feel like blocking in your bishop there's not the best move. I feel like in that situation, you probably don't take the knight. But I mean, wait, what? Oh, you take the pawn. You have to take
oh,
the
you're
pawn. Or you wait, you don't take the pawn because there's gonna be a fork coming in with knight e. But wait, even if there was that fork, you could probably win back the knight. So you win a pawn here. And when it's
oh,
like
you're
that, Master G Wood has just thrown away the position advantage he was having this entire time. Because you can win back the knight even if it forks you and your bishop.
but he wins back the pawn from for the c2 square.
That is true. That's true.
But then you would take
But
this
then the
one actually.
bishop, but if you let the bishop live, you're gonna
Wow.
lose out. I think you
He
take there. You have to take if
yeah
you're Scipio. Wait, let's see what happens if you do take. If you
yeah
take, the
doesn't
position's the same, basically. So you've
yeah
basically
seems to
done
be the
what you've needed to do. And after that,
huh.
yeah. But what if the knight takes the bishop? It's still
And then
bad for
I
wow.
guess I can't content with the 3 pawn push. I'm not sure though.
Wait, just go back a move?
Where?
Like in the hypothetical situation?
Oh yeah. Where? Here
Yeah, go back a
or
move.
sure.
Okay, push it. Uh-huh. Again.
Takes. You want to see takes or?
Again. Again.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Huh. So taking that pawn is bad for obvious reasons. What about the alternative?
What is your alternate? What is
The
the
one in the
alternative?
brackets there with knight takes on g2, like where the bishop is instead.
This?
Yeah, yeah, white is in trouble. Anyway, let's see how we did go on to respond to that. Oh wait, you kind of skipped
Um.
quite a few moves there. So
There we go. Here.
f5 by the
King.
king, taking more of that all important f4 region is eyeing, and then h3 takes takes back. The king enters on e4, dominating the center. A response by the bishop with h2 check. King moves to d4. The other king moves to d2. And now at this point, I think Skip has to realize that this might be a bit lost, unless Master J Winner slips up again.
Let's see. I mean, you never know, right? Whoever
That
blunders last is the one who
that is
loses.
true.
So,
So I think, do we expect a pawn push here
um,
with
I'm
like
expecting like a.
with like the
Yeah, I
c
think so.
file?
Yes. I think you just slowly grind them down, and this pawn I don't think ever promotes because I think the knight just always checks this pawn in a way. So I think it's just gonna be a very slow push, very slow grind. Oh, they actually played it. I just didn't see it. Oh man,
Oh
it's looking
my
bad.
word.
Oh, and the
Oh,
bishop.
that is game
Oh,
ending.
joy.
The knight can take the bishop and be able to catch the pawn before it promotes, I believe.
At this point, how do you force stalemate? How do you try like? Yeah, it's
And Scipio
wow.
resigns. Wow. I think after how the first game ends, Scipio's decision has not proved to be fruitful. He came out
I
aggressive in the first game. We saw a really adventurous Scipio exploring all kinds of initiatives you could from that Italian game. But now, after that game, where he really did have an advantage, wait, he did have a disadvantage to begin with. It slipped away from him, in all honesty, and now he needs a huge response here.
Are we going to see the same opening as the first game? We are actually.
Oh wow.
Same opening.
Is Scipio
Um,
sharper for this one? They're already 12 moves in.
oh, knight d4. That
Wow.
is crazy.
Because the
Knight
queen would
d4.
take on c1. This is amazing.
Wow,
So they've gone
beautiful
all
stuff.
out. They haven't held back. They know this.
I have to say about the second game, I'm really surprised at Master J's defense and tenacity because he just blundered basically in the opening and he just hanged on and outgrinded Scipio, honestly.
Yeah,
And in a position where Scipio had like the obvious moves while Master J didn't. So, really a huge win for him in game two.
indeed. We've seen Scipio show his offensive flair, and MasterJayWinner display defensive prowess. This has been an epic showing. But now, it comes down to this. I mean, there's a fork there at c2, but I mean, it shouldn't happen, and it doesn't happen. But now, how? How will Master
Oh.
J Winner intend to see this one out? He's on the verge of a second run as the Titan of Weekend Warriors, but Scipio's holding on. He's not letting go. No, he's still here.
This is a very tricky position. I don't see how Black, although has a very deep knight, I don't see how they convert this aggressiveness into material advantage right now.
I think maybe Queen C6. No, for a small step. Although the problem is that the moment you have a move like pawn f3, you're in hot water. You're in serious hot water. So yeah, they need to do something now. Probably knight f4 then. Out maybe knight f4. That could be the move for black.
Yeah, could be. Forces the queen to retreat somewhere. They're playing, by the way. They. Oh,
Queen.
yeah, he went actually knight f4.
Okay. The
But
queen
queen.
takes for check, however. The bishop defends, guarding the king. The queen the queen
Oh,
slides to c4. The other queen for black plays
wait, what about?
b7, eyeing up the diagonal. But there's a serious threat coming from Master J with his queen and knight on the f7. It wouldn't be checkmate, but it would be a lot
I
of
do.
pressure at this stage. And
Scipio is just
he
playing such
lets it
adventurous chess.
happen. He's ready for this, absorbing the pressure. As Evan is saying, the point is white just never gets to castle, and he gives up f7, which is crazy as well. And
What a
so,
crazy opening.
are we gonna see Master J with a go for it? What is the idea of a queen going in there to take on f7?
Only move king d8.
Because at the moment, Scipio technically has an advantage according to Stockfish. Depth 16.
I would be very scared to be black here for sure. It's a very sharp line for black. He has to find the right resources, which at this point I don't
I
see them. I don't
think
know
maybe
what the
you
other.
play. I mean, this seems a bit pessimistic in terms of how to go about things, but playing knight e6, that could be the move here. It solves a lot of your problems, in my opinion. Apparently not, unfortunately. Although black is down material and here to play white, you have to defend perfectly. Wait, what? Huh, that's an interesting way to see things. What do you play here as? Do you play the bishop to e6 instead?
Well, this is the
No, it's
attack
just the
twice,
same.
defender once. Yeah,
Why is that tactic so good? I mean, white does
I
have two defenders there.
just defender twice. I don't know
Oh,
actually.
it's because oh, MasterJayWinner's up material in the first place.
He just sacked his knight. Scipio just sacked his knight. Actually, no, it's not sack. Actually, but
Check.
Ninja
He's
did not like
holding.
it
He's
though.
holding well. He's holding well. This
Surprised.
was the best move, the one we could not see at the moment. And now in this position, how is MasterJayWinner going to defend? He has the lead. He has to keep it. But Scipio, I mean, Scipio looks like he really has his back against the wall. But as Evan was saying, you have to defend perfectly here, and it's slowly becoming kind of clear why. But the question is, what would Scipio play as a follow up? Evan, what do you think there? Like, I mean, obviously, MasterJayWinner is going to defend this one. I mean, you have to move the king at the very least. But how does Scipio follow up to keep up the pressure? Is it going to be a bishop check on g4? Is that where the perfect defense is needed? And after that, when the king escapes to probably going to be c2, where does the additional pressure come from? Although that pressure, which I have been alluding to, doesn't seem like it's the most effective.
Indeed.
So there's lots of questions here. Oh,
Oh,
bishop
what he
takes
allowed it.
a3.
Okay.
Check.
What?
The check has showed up, and the king has to move to d8. The rook takes on g2. And MasterJayWinner, he was in the corner, and he came out swinging. It looks like MasterJayWinner is going
Still,
to be having the momentum now. Scipio's down by almost 1.5 minutes.
it was looking tough right now for Scipio, but you never know in these matches. So
The,
maybe the open king leads to Master J making a bad move with his king, and then maybe he's under like a tremendous attack. So
I
we'll have to
believe,
see.
I believe a serious bishop withdraw needs to happen here for Scipio. But where do you place your bishop? Do you place it on the f8? Because I mean,
Um,
placing your bishop on the on e8 on e6 seems like a no e7 is just awful because of the check that would show up. I believe, yeah.
I
I
do
mean,
wonder,
maybe
is
not.
there ever a move here where you try to dislodge the king? Probably not. If it just defends the rook, anyways, right? Actually, no, this doesn't. Hmm.
Wait,
Don't know.
what happens if you play? I guess Scipio would have to attack here. What happens if you play b5, bishop b5? That's not a good move.
Bishop e. Oh, oh no, it's check.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's check actually.
Well, if he goes here, for example, what is the follow-up? Master
Oh,
J is
because there's a
threatening to.
fork coming as well, and losing two rooks in the game like this is not what you want.
Indeed, Evan seems to think that why the king being on f1 is just completely safe.
The king's kind
So
of
we'll
safe of
see.
f1. White has solved all his problems. Yeah, I would definitely say so. I don't see a way that like the bishop for black is gonna cause the king a lot of problems when black still has to salvage the situation for the bishop in a3. And the queen doesn't have really a way into like g2 or something.
Oh, gotta move.
Check by
26
the
check.
queen. Scipio putting it all on the line.
I don't see a follow-up for black, but you never know. Funnily enough, this knight is covering this, just in case you were thinking of doing this before. Yeah, this, I don't know, this position now definitely looks... That's why I was surprised by Scipio playing so sharply in these games, because it's, yeah, it takes a lot of precision to really pull off these attacks, and if you don't, then you're just have a worse position with no compensation. But he almost pulled it off in the first game. Let's see if Jay collapses
Wait.
under the attack or not.
If he plays King G1, black is better. Wait, what?
Huh?
Wow.
Why?
How come? What's the follow-up?
What? How? I feel like this feels like
This
I've
is a
discovered
rook.
chess today. Feels crazy.
We're being taken on the roller coaster of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, what is the
What do you
follow-up here?
play after that? I don't get it. It's
Your rook
amazing.
can't get in the game, your bishop is hanging, and somehow you're better.
What?
Wait, and that's what happened in the game. That's what happened in the game.
Oh my word. Queen E2. Oh,
Oh,
back rank
oh, no,
issues.
oh my goodness.
The knight, the rook can't do anything. It's awful. The king has to run out of there with probably h3. But even then, the knight could cause issues at some point. H3. MasterJayWinner. Scipio has managed to salvage the situation. Can he convert?
Oh, bishop d6. I like that
And
move.
bishop d6 just looks like the perfect trap at the moment. Scipio. He's been adventurous and he got his opening when it looked like it was all going away from him. This is the chance. Will he make sure it doesn't slip as well? Because he needs this one.
Absolutely.
If it's a draw, MasterJayWinner wins.
I feel like this is a warning to the rest of the NSPCL contestants as to whether you want to go into the knight attack against Scipio, because the way he's managing the first game and this one, if you want to, I mean, if you want to go into it, you do you, but this is a very scary
Wait, let's
looking
move.
Scipio
We're a bit
version here.
behind. We're a bit behind.
Oh, we're behind. Let's see. Oh, he found bishop d6.
And e6 check. And the position gets slightly worse for MasterJayWinner.
Moves
King
out of the way. There's
c8.
couple. Mm,
It is not looking beautiful for the American.
this is incredible. Like a rook completely out of the game. Your king just in the middle of basically like no the pawns in front of him or anything, and just completely apparently safe. That is incredible.
Okay,
Yeah, but
MasterJayWinner
d4.
throws one more at it. But now we have to see Scipio really go all out. With precision, for what it's worth. Oh,
Ooh,
it looks like it's a mistake.
I don't know why though.
Epic
D4.
victory and utter failure are literally on a razor's edge right now. Scipio, he has to manage it. He has to stay in the match.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh!
and it's all
Wait, why?
gone.
Oh
Especially when
no!
there's 20 seconds on the clock. And
Oh
so,
no!
it looks like after 26 moves in their third game, make that 26 moves in their first game. 16.2 seconds for Scipio. He's been headed the
Oh boy.
lifeline, Master J Winner. A way out when it looked like we're about to see an epic comeback. And
Oh
so,
my God.
for the second time ever, Master J Winner is the Titan and
Wow.
champion of Weekend
Wow.
Warriors.
Man,
I'm
And that's
Oh,
all she wrote
that
I'm
was crazy.
surprised.
That was crazy.
for Event 31.
Oh, it's
Wow,
31.
what a
I
game.
didn't
Yo,
recognize that game.
Scipio, how could you let him do that to you?
That last game was
Uh,
crazy, bro.
it was meant to
Oh,
be, I guess.
It was a roller
poor
coaster.
dude.
I knew prep until like queen b7, and then I was on my own, and yeah, position was pretty crazy.
Uh, that was a
Until where did you say?
that was an
Queen
epic
b7.
game.
I had this position once before. I just knew that queen, what was it, c5? Queen c4 is a bad move, and that queen b7 is like way to go, but after that I had no clue what to do.
I was commenting on the match. I was really surprised how aggressive you played in this. I was expecting more of a, I guess, more of a solid approach, but no, you just took risks, and even though it didn't end up working out, I think it was really fun to watch out at least, and hopefully you enjoyed playing that style of chess.
Yeah, it was super exciting. Obviously, the result wasn't as I wished it would be, but yeah, I can't complain. I think the quality was pretty high, and I'm pretty happy with my play.
Yeah. Master J
Nice.
Winner, what are your thoughts on the match? Is he going to speak?
Wait, what?
Oh, saying, what are your thoughts on the match?
Oh, all right. So obviously the Polaria, the first time I'm pretty sure I blundered and like, or I didn't play a good move. So I just tried to like learn from what I did in the first game. Though I didn't really, I don't know if I really reached my desired opening prep. I don't think I prepped enough for this opening, considering I knew it was gonna play this. So I probably should have prepared more. I'm glad I still managed to come through and win this. Though I think I should probably improve my openings in the future. Then, like even in the second game when I was black, I gave up a pawn in that opening. That wasn't really good. So other than that, I feel like my tactics and end game was really good. And if I just improve my openings, and I wouldn't have to have these problems in losing positions and having to battle back from an uphill battle.
I see. So, question for both of you. At the end of the first game, we had a draw. What was your thinking when you went for that draw by repetition? Skip your first.
I it looked pretty forcing to me because I had queen versus two rooks, and I really liked my position, and I thought that passed pawn was pretty strong, but I didn't really see a way to improve my position, and I'm not really sure about the time situation, but I was probably like slightly down on the clock, and I thought it was the best thing to do.
I see. Well, Master J Winner, and what's your take on how you decided to go for a draw by repetition in that situation?
I mean, I didn't really see any other way out of it because if I didn't block, then I'd just lose by force eventually by the queen. So I'm glad I was able to. I wouldn't say trick Scipio into believing it was a drawish position. Obviously, it looks like it wasn't. So I'm glad I got the result.
I see.
I think honestly, I just got way too aggressive with the pieces. So with the two rooks, and even though I was up in material technically, that's still like the result I'm really happy with, and I'm glad I managed to salvage a draw there.
Okay. Question for Scipio. So Scipio, as much as you fell short at the end. We saw a brilliant game. So any thoughts on how you and Master J would have played it out, and anything you'd like to say about how he's played this weekend?
Could you repeat the question? I'm not sure I understood you completely.
Oh, so I said, so we saw a brilliant game out there. It's been a great weekend of chess, and any thoughts about? And as much as you fell short, you really played well out there. And so, any thoughts about how your opponent Master J would have played today? Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think he played really well. Obviously, his openings weren't his strength suit, but I think especially in the second game, I just got completely outplayed in the end game, and it just showed that he's a really strong player, and I'm glad that I have such challenging opponents in the league.
Same question for you, Scipio. Of course, congratulating you on your second ever victory as the Titan of Weekend Warriors. Congratulations again.
Thanks. And Scipio, I love his opening preparations. It's like he's always gonna keep his opponents guessing with what he's gonna play. Like and he's just like I've seen it in like when he's streaming Blitz games. His opponents like blunder in the openings probably because they don't have the knowledge that Scipio does. So as long as Scipio manages to hold these positions where he has favorable positions from the opening, I think he'd be really good and probably even better than most of the people at the top of this league. And he could probably come back to this position and even farther in the Weekend Warriors and other tournaments in this league. So obviously he's ready to take the next step.
Thank you. Wow, I guess there's only one question left. Um, anyone with any thoughts about how this weekend has gone down? As we it was the league's comeback. We've had a difficult past year, to be honest. So yeah, any thoughts from both of you on that? And what you I guess hoping for the league looking forward.
Jay, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm hoping the return of Weekend Warriors is a sign of the league coming back to its form where you could always expect a tournament or another at some point. And maybe this is a sign that the league is coming back to being better and more active. If we can keep this going and our schedules can be like that, our schedules can allow us to play in more tournaments, then that'd be great. And this league can keep going despite all the struggles and concerns of a potential end to it. So this is a great sign, and we're going to hopefully continue with this league for more time to come.
I'm just really happy that the tournaments are back. Obviously, this is just the first tournament, and it doesn't yet prove anything if the people in the league really want to play and like more tournaments happen. But it was just so much fun playing. I did not remember the thrill and excitement in these games, and I'm very, very happy. And perhaps even the leagues come back at some point. The team leagues.
Thank you for your answers. And so I guess the last follow-up question to that would be, I guess, what are you hoping to see? If the league is indeed making its comeback, um, do you have like any ideas that would like to happen? To
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I don't think we don't need we need to I don't think we need to make any changes like to the format. I think we can continue like how it used to be like a year or two ago. And as long as we can keep that and people can keep playing, then it would be great. And I hope to play Evan more so I can beat him.
And then Scipio.
Nah, you ain't gonna beat me, bro. Nah.
Gotta
Yes,
protect
I
the
am.
lead against the Nightly
Oh wait,
Fury.
my bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure the league doesn't need that many changes because the inactivity is like the biggest issue, and if we have like a bunch of active players, I think we will do fine. And we have done it in the past before, so I think it will be possible to do again.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all the questions I have here. Koke, you have anything to say before we end our coverage?
Honestly, sort of like repeating what Scipio said, I kind of forgot about the three moments themselves. Even though I wasn't able to be in the final, just being able to watch and commentate, and I'm just looking forward to the next one. Honestly, that's all. That's all that's on my mind. Like preparing for the next one, both as a player, both as in like how excited I am for it. So yeah.
So off. And so, yes, as I was saying, to cap it all off, that is the end of Weekend Warriors Event 31. We'll be back with Event 32 this coming weekend, and we'll see where the schedule takes us from there. And so, your Titan elect number two, MasterJayWinner, is your new champion of Weekend Warriors. And so, if you want to see the coverage we had today, it'll be posted on our YouTube channel. And so, thank you everybody for attending, and this was awesome.
Thank you, Guru.